No intro, no outro, straight fire. So the verse of the day is, we all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us have turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. Isaiah 53:6. All right, let's get into these charts for this week. So I kind of already hashed down my watch list just based off of really everything. Like it wasn't conducive to me. If you want to know how I go to my watch list, y'all can just kind of watch my previous videos. I added some more mitigating factors or some more things to my checklist to like really narrow down my watch list. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things on my watch list, 9 pairs on my watch list. First things first, USD CAD. So like how I normally been doing it. All right, I have previous week taken. Another confluence is that previous week's POC hasn't been mitigated. And then my extra confluence is that, previous week's taken is one confluence, and then previous week's POC not being mitigated is another confluence. So ideally what I'll be looking for is a close above daily POC and then reverse back. So that's one concept that I'm looking at. So USD CAD, looking for buys. AUD JPY, same thing, looking for sells. Previous week high taken, previous week's POC not taken, looking for a reversal, aiming for previous week's lows. CAD JPY, same thing, real easy, boom. Previous week's high taken, previous week's POC not taken. This is a good setup, good indication that, okay, if price closed below, I'm in it to win it, and looking to get into something like this, depending on, depending on how price decides that it wants to close. So this is a premature concept. You know, I like to answer things if then. If this happens, then this happens. And then you already know 50% of the way I like to take half profit and then let the rest ride. But right now, this is ending up really, really nice for a 7.3. CHF JPY, again, previous week taken. POC not taken for previous week, just waiting for a closure below the POC. EUR JPY, again, looking for sells. All my confluences, just waiting for a closure below the POC. Again, previous week high taken, no mitigation, just waiting for a closure below the POC. Great British Pound JPY, same shit, right? Taken, not taken, waiting for a closure below the POC. NZD, CHF, price is just kind of doing its thing, but one of my confluence, check the block. Previous POC not taken, so I'm just waiting for the higher, the low, and the closure below the POC. And then last but not least, NZD JPY. Previous high taken, no mitigation, just waiting for a closure below the POC. Now, additional things that I have on watch list. These are a little bit more advanced concepts, but needless to say, it's still a part of my watch list, and I'm still gonna divulge that to my audience. So, first things first, price rejected off of previous week's point of control. You know, I see a bunch of rejection candles. The 1 hour time frame is the lowest I'll go. I don't care. I don't have time to be watching the charts. It is what it is, right? So multiple rejections off of previous week's volume POC. And then what the clear indication for me for that was this closure below the POC. So once I got that closure below the POC, I was like, oh shoot, price might be ready. And what I wanted to see was price reverse up, tap me into the POC, and then reverse down. That would have been a solid 6%, but as you can see, that did not happen. So still kind of just waiting it out. And that's for USD JPY. And then last but not least, Great British Pound CHF, same concept as USD JPY, right? So price kind of played around previous week's POC, but what enticed me was that price had a clean break with a lot of volume, right? big candles, big engulfing candles, big engulfing candles. You got an engulfing candle, you know, in this, I don't know the name and terminology of the candle. I'm not going to pretend like I do because I don't. And then another engulfing candle. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool, perfect. Playing around the previous week's POC, broke through with a lot of volume, engulfing candles, and it closed below the POC. Yeah, let me see if I can get in on this trade. So again, pending order set right here. So that's pretty much my weekly watch list. Pretty straightforward. I like my new rule that I added into my trading to like get my watch list smaller, because I used to have some pretty long watch lists. I mean, like as soon as a higher low was taken, I was like, okay, boom, it's a watch list. I'm added to my watch list. I'm added to my watch list. I'm added to my watch list. But once I took a sabbatical off of YouTube, spent some time off of YouTube. I started reading more. So I read The Market, Mastering the Market Cycle by Howard Marks. I read a volume profile book that I read almost every single year by Trader Dale. I read another volume profile book that it was written by this female. I got to get the name of it. It's inside my closet. And I read The Little Book of Common Sense Investing, and then How Rich Asians Think. Don't ask me why I read How Rich Asians Think. I just thought it was it's a cool book. But with reading those, I kind of took a different approach, or started to think of the market a little bit differently, where I don't have to be involved every day, and I don't need that much big of a watch list. And one thing that we have that a lot of people don't have is artificial intelligence. You can literally put your concepts of how you trade into artificial intelligence, and it will give you suggestions. Now, mind you, the suggestions is based off of what you input. Like, it's not law. You have to do your own research, your own back test, et cetera, et cetera. But one thing that we have at our fingertips that people who traded in the past does not have artificial intelligence. Again, you can put your concepts into artificial intelligence. And because of my time schedule, and because I travel so much for work and just travel period for leisure with my family, I want to spend less and less time on the charts. This is the most I've been on a chart since this week started. And it's now 7 minutes and 23 seconds into the video, right? So just adding more and more filters that make sense to me. I tried the RSI. I'm like, that's just too much on my chart. Tried the VWAP. I'm like, okay, that's way too much on my chart. Changes of characters and stuff, that's cool, but is a matter of where I'm taking the changes of character from. So just adding a bigger volume scope and a bigger volume profile over a period of time to try to kind of anchor my bias into, definitely helped me out a lot with mitigating my watch list. Because as you can see, these are the only things that are on my watch list. And as soon as something is devaluated or not that is invalid, I'm taking it off my watch list. I don't care anymore, right? Because I don't want to get burned. So I say all that to say this, make sure you're doing your research. Yeah, I'm showing my concepts on YouTube, but take the time and due diligence to, take a little bit from me, take a little bit from other traders, and then kind of put it together and then make your own trading style and your own trader concept. I can honestly say the way that I trade, no one taught me how to trade like this. Now I paid for one-on-ones for people to teach me about the volume profile, how to read it, what does it mean. Shout out to Josh Barnes. I bought a volume profile course by trader, what's his name? I literally just said the book that he wrote, right? And I listened to his concepts, listen about, rotation, high volume nodes, low volume nodes, value area high, value area low, et cetera, et cetera. And I started taking those concepts and then putting into my concept that I already had, my foundation of market structure that I learned from Jessica Lane, my foundation of market structure and smart money / institutional trading, which I don't really like saying that. Smart money, whatever. And taking those concepts and implementing into my trading style. So yeah, peace. Y'all might be seeing a little bit more of me or a little bit less of me. I don't know. I post on YouTube. Now I'm at the point where I wanted to post consistently, but now we in a new quarter and my focus kind of just changed and I'm on my grind. So I'm kind of just going to post whenever I want to post. So with that being said, no intro, no outro, straight fire. Peace.